Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Totakam Vartikakaramanyam Asmadgurum Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savilasa Maha Moha Graha Grasaika Karmane. I think we did up to
29.
29. We'll read that. Swanubhotava vishwase tarkasyapyanavastitehe katam va tarkikam manyah tattva nishchayamapnuyat. Ajnanam swanubhuvena jnayate. Ajnan ki praman. What is the pramana for ignorance? Anubhavaha eva. Kutastam janasi va iti prichet. If you ask the question, Kutastam janasi va, do you know? What do you say? Aham na janami, na bhati, na asti. Janami, na bhati. For me, the Kutastha, the very word itself, I do not know. It doesn't exist. So, ajnanasya anubhavam eva pramana. I don't know is known to me. I know that I don't know. Therefore, it is known to me that through my experience itself, I know that I don't know. And if you reject anubhuti or anubhava, even pratyaksha praman is anubhava only. I say, see through my eyes, ears, etc. only, I come to have a pratyaksha praman. and pratyakha is the basis for anumana, pramana. Therefore, here, swanubhautau avishvase. When you do not have vishvasa, faith, in the swa-anubhava, your own experience, tarkasya api anavastitehe, then your argument will have no basis. For pratyaksha pramana is also anubhava. When I see a thing, and it is anubhava. Therefore, it becomes invalid, your tarka. Then, therefore, he says, Katam va tarkikam manyah. Then, how the knowledge of the truth can be merely by reasoning can be obtained. Tattva nischayam apnuyat. Kadam. How do you then, by mere tarka, logical conclusions, without taking into consideration anubhava, which itself is the basis for pratyaksha and anuman, how do you obtain or reach tattva nischaya, the essential nature of the self? So that is the idea here. And we saw anubhava dvividam bhavati, badita and abadita. Bhadita anubhava means that is subject to falsification, like swapna ityadi. The color of the sky is blue, even though it is anubhutaha. Neela varnam of the akasha is anubhutaha. Yadyapi baditam bhavati tattva jnanat. The akasha akashe kinchit varnam nasti iti jnanat. Drishtam neela varnam abhi bhaditam bhavati. Even as I see the blueness of the sky, but I know sky has no color. Yada surya udayam abhi drishtva api bhaditam bhavati kasmat. Surya hai na chalati kadachit. It doesn't go anywhere, never it goes anywhere. But I see that appears to be moving. So my anubhava, even though it is there, become bhaditam. Now, interesting thing is, even though bhaditam bhavati, but you don't stop seeing it. You don't stop seeing that. So, bhaditam anubhava. But not all anubhavas are bhaditam. Otherwise, what happens is, the Shastra Pramana is also, in this teach, I'm hearing. I don't think I'm hearing. So, abhaditam also is there. We'll come to that a little later. Swapnaha mithya, pratyakshamapi. Even though you're seeing it, it is pratyakshamapi. Swapnaha is bhaditam bhavati. So, anubhava, we saw that abhaditam, how is it? Example of that. Doctor, you went to doctor and he has a report. According to this report, you should not have the headache. I think the head is not you. Understand that. This is called tarka, You are not your head. Therefore, there is nothing called headache. That fellow says, you are the headache. I have the headache. So, tarkena, by mere tarka, that does not become bhaditam. It is anubhava. So, therefore, ajnanam katham so now, you see, next important thing is, from 30 onwards, he will say, what is the actual tarka? How to do the tarka correctly and not to do kutarka. Kutsita tarka is called kutarka. What do you call that? Illogical argumentation. Now he will say, in the next verse we see, buddhyarohaya tarkaschet अपेक्षेत तथा सति स्वानुभूत्यनुसारेण तर्क्यतां मा कुतर्क्यताम् बुद्ध्यारोहाय तर्कश्चेत् अपेक्षेत तथा सति स्वानुभूत्यनुसारेण तर्क्यतां मा कुतर्क्यताम्. First one is for the clarity of the buddhi. Buddhi arohaya. Buddhehe arohaya. For the buddhi to become clear about the idea, concept. Buddhi arohaya tarkaha chet. If you argue for the sake of clarity of thinking, then tada apeksheta. Then it is correct. And how it should be done, tarka? Swa anubhuti anusarena. It should go along with the experience. As we saw, pratyaksha pramana and anumana pramana, both are based upon the abhadita anubhavasarena, which is not subject to falsification. If the person says, according to the report, you should not have the headache, he says, you think in terms, because he says, I have the headache, now give the medicine. The medicine should be prescribed based upon the experience of the patient, not based upon the report. The report says you don't have a problem, so I don't give you any medicine. No, I take into validity that your experience of the headache is understood. Even though my report is saying otherwise, they take into consideration your headache, then what I should give you. In the same way, what is the anubhava of the person? Agham ajnaha. Isn't it? Aham kutastam na janami. Na badi na asti kutastaha. Iti nyayate. He knows. So, ajnanam asti va nasti va. Ajnanam asti. Meaning, anubhavena aham janami. I know, I don't know. So, therefore, you cannot say you don't have ajnan. अज्ञान का प्रमाण नहीं है, ये प्रत्यक्ष नहीं है, अनुमान में नहीं है, अनुभव में है. So therefore, स्व अनुभूति अनुसारेण तर्कः चेत, for buddhi arohaya, for the sake of clarity of the intellect, you do the tarka correctly. Now, how the tarka to be done is what is going to be spoken. Kutarkyatam. Don't enter into illogical argumentation. What is illogical argumentation here? Ajnan ka praman nahi hai. Because we saw in the previous verse, that is verse number 27, what is the argument that is given by the Purvapakshi? Jnanam or Atma prakasha swaprakasha rupa hai. Or the nature of self-illumination. That self-illuminating swaprakasha paramatma katam avrutam bhavati ajnanena. How that it can be covered, concealed by ajnana, because they are viruddha rupatvat. One is light, another is darkness. Where the light is there, darkness cannot come there. Isn't it? Where the darkness, the light can come, but where the light is, the darkness cannot come. Therefore, Atma Swayam Prakasha Atma is of the nature of illumination or awareness. How can you say Ajnanam, which is of the Viruddha Dharma, can come to cover Jnanam? Katam Ajnanam Jnanam Ajnanena Avrutam Bhavati. So therefore, there is no possibility of, logically, there is no possibility of Ajnana, which is of the nature of avarana, concealment, will conceal that which is by nature brilliance. So if avaranam na chet, vikshepa api na bhavati. If there is no avarana, concealment, non-apprehension, then misapprehension will also not take place. Vikshepa api na sambhavati. Vikshepam nasti chet, bandha na asti, bandhanam nasti. Then there is no bondage. Because what is bondage? Misunderstanding. All the misunderstanding. According to Vedanta, what you say? You think you are the body. This is what you are considered as the bandhanam. But bandhanam will not be possible when there is no projection or misconception or wrong notion. Bandhanam nasti chet, moksha bhi nasti. Bandhanam, therefore, when the bandhan nahi hai, if that is say, or bandhan hai, but that is what is the truth is. I am the body is true. If that is the bondage which is there, which is not a misunderstanding, it is understanding. If that is there is nothing called moksha then. Moksha is a shastram kimartam. Shastram is not necessary. Then what is the adhikaritvam? That is your argument. So what is on the basis on which you are saying? That avritam nasti. Therefore, ajnanam nasti. Kyo? Ajnanam cannot stay in the same place as jnanam. Viruddha dharmatva. That is where you proceeded on. So, what is to be proven now? Ajnanam asti jnana sannidau. What is to be proven now? While Atman is there, ajnanam api asti. Because your basis on what? Darkness and light cannot remain in the same place. That's your basis. From where only you took off to point out there is no moksha, there is no shastra, there is no need for shastra, all that you argued. Now I have to prove to you now that buddhi arohaya. To make you clarify, yatra atma asti tatreva ajnanam api asti. This is what is to be proven. उसके बारे में हमको तर्क करना है. तर्क has to be taken to that direction. Clear? So, kutarkam ma kuryat. Don't take into wrong kutarka, that is wrong logical argumentation. Now, therefore, to prove buddhi arohaya tarka chet using the logic is required. Tarka is required. Apekshate. Apeksheta. Tarkaha apeksheta. I'm not saying tarka is not necessary. But what kind of tarka? Swa anubhuti anusarena. Anubhuti anusarena. According to our experience. Okay. Now, what which tarka should be is, it should not be opposing to anubhava. Tarkaha and anubhava should not contradict. This is the first point he makes. Anubhava and tarka should not be a contradiction. That's why acho anubhava anusarena. So what you should be tarka, that as it is said, that even if the doctor can argue again and again that you don't have a headache, you have to say, you have to treat me as per my experience now. So here, ma kutarkyatam. What do you mean by that? Pratyaksha pramana virodena. Here, pratyaksha pramana is what? Mera pratyaksha pramana kya hai? A present moment is that I have the headache. That's a pratyaksha for me. But you are trying to argue that I don't have. So your argumentation is kutarka. So that is why if somebody is having some sorrowful situation in life, because somebody dead or something, nobody died. So you pray with basically, that person at that point of time, he is not ready for any kind of argumentation or tarka. What you should say, yes. Yeah, you have feelings tragic about it, you're feeling sorrowful about it, I understand, etc. Then make him start thinking correctly. That how, the life is impermanent, Of course, everything is transient. And so, buddhi arohaya, that's why he puts that word, buddhi aroha. To clarify in the mind, to increase the ability of thinking, and slowly one must bring about the awareness to the person that everything is transitory, etc. You cannot say, what you are going through as sorrow is not right. I'm crying. Not crying. I don't accept that you are crying. There is no sorrow in you. I am. No. So that is not correct. Now, so therefore, what is tarka? Swa anubhava anusara tarka. What is that argumentation which is in line with experience? Now you see verse number 31. स्वानुभूतिरविद्यायाम् आवृतौ च प्रदर्शिता अतः कूटस्थचैतन्यम् अविरोधीति तर्क्यताम् स्वानुभूतिरविद्यायाम् आवृतौ च प्रदर्शिता अतः कूटस्थचैतन्यम् अविरोधीति तर्क्यताम्. Avidya anubhava pramanena jnanam jnatam. Avidya is known through anubhava, one's own experience. Now you see, anubhava pramanena ajnanam asti. Anubhava pramanena ajnanam asti. That is very well established, because you ask a person who doesn't know Kutastha, he says, I don't know. So, I don't know is ajnanam. Ajnanam asti. If you ask a person, he definitely says, I have no idea of what you are talking about, Kutastha. So, aham ajnaha kutastham ajnaha. I don't know Kutastha. This is ajnanam anubhava pramanena asti iti drishyate. Therefore, first thing what he says, Swanubhutihi avidyayam avrito cha pradarshita. Pradarshita, it is shown. What? Avidyayam avrito, Swanubhutihi, by one's own experience, avidyayam, in the state of ignorance, avrito iti pradarshita. Kutastaha avrito iti pradarshita. That Chaitanyam, the consciousness is concealed, is known by experience. I don't know. So this is Anubhava Pramana. Shruti Pramana is what? Now let us take the Shruti Pramana. Chaitanyam asti. This is Shruti Pramana. Now, to know that I don't know, what should be there? Because of what you know that you don't know. Because if the Chaitanyam is obscured, not there because of avarana of this avidya, then knowledge of the knowledge of what I do not know, how do you know? Let me give an example. It's simple as this. Do you see light everywhere? Chakshusha prakasham drashtum shakyate. Right? Tamaha, darkness. Kena indriyena tvam janasi. Chakshusha eva. Chakshusha eva prakasham janami suryasya. Tamaha api janami. Now tell me, eyes can see light as well as darkness. So now tell me, darkness cover the eyes? How do you know the darkness? With what? Eyes. With what do you know the light? Eyes. So eyes is what? Eyes are what? Can be present both in light as well as darkness. Isn't it? So nature of consciousness is what? Chaitanyena jnanam api jnatum ajnanam api jnatum shakyate. Tasmat chaitanyam avirodi. Avaranasya avirodi. It is not opposed to avarana. Ajnanasya avirodi atma. Self is not contradictory to ignorance. Because how do you know ignorance otherwise? Aham janami ajnayati. Janami. So therefore, next is ataha kutascha chaitanyam avirodi. Iti tarkyatam. So pramana is what for that? Shruti. Shruti what he says that chaitanyam asti tat chaitanyat eva chaitanyena eva tvam aham ajnam iti abhijanasi. तस्मात् where अज्ञान है वही है chaitanya. है कि नहीं? See, if I'm saying light, I'm seeing, okay, therefore eyes are able to see the light. I'm also seeing darkness. Eyes are there in the darkness. So eyes are there both in the condition. What condition? What condition? Light is also there, eyes are there. Darkness is there, eyes are there. So eyes are not opposed to light or darkness. ज्ञान वर्जिता अज्ञानहीन चित् ज्ञातुमन्तरं ज्ञानमस्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्त. Only simply put it there. Jnana varjita, without jnana. Ajnanahina, without ignorance. Chit. Consciousness is without jnanam and ajnana. Therefore, knowing which, jnanamasti kim. Kim jnanamasti further? Jnanamasti kim. What is there? Jnanahina chit. So that chit consciousness is present in the presence of avidyakrita avarane. Avidyakrita avarana cannot touch the consciousness. Or the example is ganachanna margam ganachanna drishtihi. Even as the cloud is covering the sun, the clouds are also seen by the sun's presence only. Today it's very cloudy, Swami. How do you know? Very cloudy. Sun is not there today. How do you know? How do you know? Without the sun, do you know the cloud? Without the sun, do you know the cloud is covering the sun? No. So how do you know the sun is covered? Ganachanna markam ganachanna drishtihi. Drishtihi ganachannam. Ganena channam. Achannam. Ganena megena. So the non-perception of the sun due to the clouds is also known because of the sun. The same way, yata chakshusha aham tamaha pashyami prakashamapi pashyami tasmat yaha tamaha asti tatra eva chakshuhu assi. In the same way, ajnanam yatra asti tatra chaitanyam asti. Chaitanyena eva ajnanam janami. Therefore, kutastha chaitanyam avirodi iti takyata. You understand? Therefore, the kutastha chaitanyam is not opposed to, because your argumentation is what earlier beginning with aviroditvat. You know, how can jnana be ajnan se avaran ho sakta hai? Ajnan, how does it cover jnanam? Now we'll come to that more details now. So Chaitanyam na aviroti. Avaranasya aviroti Chaitanyam. Kasmat avaranam api aham janami Chaitanyena eva. Because of the consciousness alone, I even know the darkness. I mean the covering. Now, even as the report says that you don't have a headache, the doctor would not stop treating you based upon your experience. Now, when it comes to the word jnanam, we should understand two things. Buddhi jnanam or vritti jnanam is one thing, swarupa jnanam is another. Jnanam dvividam. Knowledge is of two kinds. Swarupa jnanam, atma jnanam. One. Vritti jnanam or buddhi jnanam is second. Now, this buddhi jnanam, now let me ask this question. Do you see this glass of water? Some of you not seeing it. You say, aham janam. I know it. It's there. Right? Anybody knows Russian? No janam. Right? So you say, this glass aham janami. Russian aham na janami. Both you know. What you don't know and what you know. What you know is vritti jnanam. What you don't know, vritti ajnanam. Because if I say some word in Russian, you don't even comprehend what it means. क्या वृत्ति होता है आपके मन में? Sofa. Whatever be it in Russian, whatever. Konnichiwa. Do you know konnichiwa? Japanese. What does it mean? Konnichiwa. Bend down and come. Now, so if I put some word in Russian, no vritti takes place. Yeah, kya hai? Some sound. But it may mean something else. When you know, then it becomes vritti jnanam. If you don't know, there will be vritti ajnanam. But vritti jnanam va ajnanam va swarupam janati. Meaning, I, the consciousness, would know what I don't know as Russian, and I know the tumbler's existence. So, vritti jnanam, vritti ajnanam sambhavati. But the swarupa jnanam is that it illumines both. Jnanam tata jnanam. Therefore, ajnanasya avirodi atma. Chaitanya is not virodhi of ajnan. Ajnan bhi janta hu main. As they give the example of the eyes, which can see both light as well as darkness. Close my eyes. I don't see anything. Who knows? Some consciousness here is illuminating the closing of the eyes also. Opening of the eyes also it knows, closing of the eyes also it knows. With the eyes I know what I see, and with the eyes I know what is not there also, meaning darkness also. So when you extend this understanding, you'll know that Kutastha Chaitanyam avirodi, avaranasya avirodi, ajnanasya avirodi. So now your argument is what? Earlier you'll go back to argument. You say that ajnanena kadam jnanam avridam bhavati. Ajnanena atma chaitanyam na avridam bhavati. Avranam avridam bhavati. Tasmat avranam asti. Right? Because you are disproving the avarana, then only you are proceeding on further. No vikshepa, no this and that, right? So, ajnanam asti, ajnanam avranoti, Chaitanyam ajnanasya avranam janati. That avaranam, then that very avarana or that the concealment leads to vikshepa. That we'll see later. First, you have to accept that this is the correct tarka. So here, therefore, ataha, second line, ataha, therefore, chaitanyam, kutastha chaitanyam, avirodhi iti, not a opposition, and it doesn't oppose, iti tarkyatam. Now, this way you argue, because now it is not against your anubhava also. Sa anubhava anusarena tarkyatam, it is said. What is anubhava? Hai. Ajnana hai. I accepted that. Ajnana hai. I'm not saying it is not there. So what is the tarka here? Yes, ajnana hai. Why? It is experienced. So this tarka of chaitanyam estra asti, tatra ajnanamabi asti, iti swanubhavena janami, tat iti asti iti tarkyata. So therefore tarka is not opposed to anubhava. Now one will ask, हमको कैसा मालूम है कूटस्थ चैतन्य है? श्रुति प्रमाण. So Shruti Madas Tarkonu Sandhiyatam. You know, what did he say? Sadhana Panchak mein? Shruti Madas Tarkaha Anusandhiyatam. Shruti Madas Tarka is what? Shruti Madas Tarka is Chaitanyam asti yatra ajnanamapi asti avidyayaha avaranamapi asti aham janami swanubhavena iti tarkyatam. In this way you argue correctly. All right. Now, when we study Shastra, what we are trying to understand is, whatever we study through the Shastra and study and listening, etc., vritti jnanam sambhavati. Vritti jnanam ajnanasya virodhi. What you do not know, when you come to know, that becomes opposed to ajnana. Vritti jnanam ajnanasya virodhi. Na atma jnanam or swarupa jnanam. Kyunki, why? Because ajne api, in the ignorant person also, swarupam asti eva, chaitanyam asti eva. But that swarupa jnanam is there. I am, that everybody knows. Even an ignorant person would say, I am, without knowing what he is referring to. Because vritti jnanam tasya nasti. In his understanding, there is no understanding that I am aham chaitanyam idi na janati saha. Chaitanyam asti idi janati. Meaning in the word, the same of what I am, he refers. Yeah, nobody says I am not. No, anybody says, are you there? I am not. Nobody would say that. So, Sarupa Jnanam here means self-awareness is there, but it is not as the Vritti Jnanam. When Vritti Jnanam takes place, Buddhi Jnanam takes place, that become opposed to Vritti Ajnanam. So, Avaranasya Virodhi Vritti Jnanam. Avaranam, when it will go, Vritti Jnanam eva Avaranam Nashyati. Now, snake. Take the example of the snake. Rope is, I don't know, and I'm seeing it as a snake. So whereas I'm seeing the rope, you're seeing the snake, let us say. Vritti jnanam, I have the vritti jnanam of that being a rope. You do not have the vritti jnanam of that is rope. Therefore, you have avarana. What is avarana? It is snake. That is avarana. So you are based upon the avarana, you are looking at it. Now, I am looking at it the same thing with the understanding that it is rope. Right? Now, I tell you, it is not snake, it is rope. So if you have Shraddha in my words, then you will find out whether it is really a rope. Enquiry will start. Then only the enquiry, vichar will start. When will the vichar start? When you take my word or the Shastra's word for true. Shraddhavaneva lavate jnanam. What jnanam? Vritti jnanam. So knowledge of the rope takes place only based upon what faith you have on the person who is uttering or the source of this knowledge. When you come to recognize by your own inquiry that this sarpa nahi hai, sarpam nasti, rajjuh eva asti. Now, rajjuh asti iti jnane, sarpa avaranam tad nashayati. Isn't it? Sarpa avaranam nashayati. What? Rajju jnanam. So, vritti jnanam, vritti ajnanam nashayati. But rope is only. Before also it is rope. Nothing happens to the rope. You don't destroy the rope. Because you know, even sarpasya adharam api rajju eva. Sarpasya adharam api rajju eva. Even the support of the sarpa also is rope only. Even before. Now, upon knowing that it is rope, you wonder, where was the snake appearance took place before? What is the support for that? It is not opposed. Sarpa did not oppose the snake. So long as you are seeing the snake, Sarpa is supporting that as well. So, Chaitanyam Kutastam Avirodi Avaranasya. Rajjuhu Sarpasya Avirodi. Adhara Rupatvat. Adhar, it does not to be understood as support, substratum. To be understood, support means what? Encouraging. Aisa nahi hai. I encourage you to see the snake. Aisa nahi hai. Support, aisa in the one, not in that form. Adhar means here as the basis. Because you are not seeing the snake in the air. You are seeing on the thing that is lying there. So, substratum of the misapprehension called the snake is also by the rope. Similarly, Chaitanyam eva avaranasya adhar. It is as though the substratum. But it is not, therefore, that substratum cannot be virodhi. It is not opposing it. So, vritti jnanam yatra sambhavati, tad rajjuhu iti. Tad sarpa rupam, sarpa drashtam, that sarpa darshanam nashayati. So, vritti jnanam avaranasya viroti. Clear?
Swamiji, what was the difference between vritti jnanam and atma jnanam?
No, atma jnana means atma, swarupa, it's not jnanam of the, in the form of a knowing. It is the knowing principle. Awareness. Here, samyak in Swarupa Jnanam is awareness, not a buddhi janita jnanam. So, buddhi jnanam eva, vritti jnanam eva avaranam nashayati. This is what tarkyatam, iti tarkyatam. This is how one should do the tarka. So, swanubhutihi avarana anubhutihi avidyayam. And for this very awareness of the avarana of avidya, avidya asti, tasya avaranam api asti, tasmat aham na janami chaitanyam ityadi. This is anubhuti. This our own experience. And kutastam asti iti shruti pramana. That is shruti pramana. It's not anubhava pramana so far. ये अनुभव प्रमाण अभी तक नहीं हुआ है. जो अभी अभिमान अनुभव प्रमाण होता है तो then it's a different question altogether. That will come later. क्या होगा? What will happen when it becomes अनुभव? At present moment it is श्रुति प्रमाण. So pradarshita, that's what it is. Avruto iti pradarshita. It is revealed very clearly. Anubhava pramanena. So kutasya chaitanyam upanishad pramana. So the second line is Upanishad Pramana. First line is Anubhava Pramana. Right? अतः कूटस्थ चैतन्यम् अविरोधि इति श्रुतिप्रमाणेन तर्क्यताम्. Avaranam asti iti pradashita anubhava pramanena. So first line is anubhava pramanena darshita avidyayam avrutau iti swanubhutihi pramana. Ataha kutastha chaitanyam aviroti iti shruti pramana. That needs to be very clear. Therefore it is says shruti madas tarkaha anusandiyatam. अनुभवेन अविद्या अस्ति उपनिषदेन आत्मा अस्ति अनुभवेन अज्ञानमस्ति आवरणमस्ति उपनिषद प्रमाणेन आत्मा अस्ति सो शास्त्र विहित चैतन्यम अनुभव अविद्या अविद्यया आवृणोति शास्त्र विहित चैतन्यम अविद्यायाः आवरणेन तिरोहितं भवति सो what happens if you think, the next question, if you think when your argument that this avarana is opposed to kutastha, if kutastha is virodhi of avarana, what happens? If you, according to your argument, they cannot coexist because one is of prakasha rupam, another is tamo rupam. That's what you argued with. And therefore they are opposed to each other. So let us say Kutastha is Virodhi of Avarana. What happens then? Now we'll see in the next verse, verse number 32. Tacha Virodhi keneyam. Tachat Virodhi keneyam. आवृतिर्हनुभूयताम् विवेकस्तु विरोध्यस्याः तत्त्वज्ञानिनि दृश्यताम् तच्चद्विरोधि केनेयम् आवृतिर्हनुभूयताम् विवेकस्तु विरोध्यस्याः तत्त्वज्ञानिनि दृश्यताम्. If Kutastha is Virodhi of Avarana, if there is opposition of the avidyayaha, of the avidyas, avarana shakti, concealment power, opposed to Chaitanya. That means if they are not able to coexist, avidyaya tat chat virodhi, tat chat this means what here? Tat sat, in truly, really speaking, virodhi, sad virodhi, sadehe virodhi, chaitanyasya virodhi, kutastasya virodhi chet, tat sad virodhi chet, kena, by what, ayam avritihi anubhuyatam. By what do you know the existence of avarana? As we saw, if sun is fully covered, see, the eclipse also, I think this recently had Australia somewhere, they saw the full eclipse. Total darkness. It's a few seconds only it is. Rahu grasta vivakarendu sadrusho. In Dakshinamurti comes. Rahu grasta vivakarendu sadrusho maya samachadana. So, if the eclipse has completely covered the sun, you would not know the eclipse. It is true that through the eclipse, there is a brightness of the sun. Even if a cloud is not a best example, even as total eclipse takes place, what is it called? Total eclipse, Complete darkness. Even the complete darkness, you will see the light. Without which you can, and then slowly it opens up. And that's why it's so powerful. The light is extremely powerful because slowly as it opens up, that the rays of the sun is extremely concentrated at that point. You cannot, bare eyes, you should not see it also. So, if you say that sad virodhi syat, if it is virodhi, sad sadehe, tat sadehe virodhi syat, virodhi, if it is, kena ayam, by what you avridihi anubhoyatam. How do you experience this avarana? Because you say, I don't know. This I don't know, how do you know? To know I don't know, you must be aware. The awareness must be there about what you do not know. So by what do you say? No, there is one more Chaitanya is there with which I don't know. I know this. This Chaitanya is covered by know by another Chaitanya. उसको क्या कैसे मालूम हो? It will become anavastita dosha, meaning there is no end. A is covered by B, and B is known. I mean, A is covered by B, and the B is known by C. So another Chaitanya. Okay. So if that is the case, there are two Chaitanya. What is the difference between these two? So you cannot go on saying that there is one which is lesser than that and is bigger than that. There is no end. So therefore, here he says, Kena anubhuyatam. So then again, vivekaha tu virodhyaha. Now vivekaha means vritti jnanam. Vritti jnanam eva virodhi. Na atma jnanam or na swarupa jnanam. Atma jnanam here to be understood as swarupa jnanam. Awareness, self-awareness is not a virodhi. How do you know then? Tattva jnanini drishyatam. This will be clearly, evidently seen in the people who have realized the highest truth. Tattvajnanini, Tattvajnana Purusheshu, those who have gained this knowledge, in them you clearly see, very clearly, that उन लोगों में ये आवरण नहीं है. In those people, there is no avaran. Now you see, why do we call ignorance is bliss? Why do we call ignorance is bliss? So ignorance is bliss because even as it is there, if you don't know, you are blissful only. The best example is that a person was traveling in a train or bus, and he had a packet full in his purse. There's a lot of money, he's kept it. And he was planning, when I go to my village where I'm going there, then I am carrying enough money and I will, buy these things for my mother, my brother, my sisters, and then we'll have a nice go to a restaurant to eat. By the time his purse was pickpocketed, taken away. He did not know. Does it stop him from enjoying the thoughts of what he would do with that money? And you'll have all the imaginations about it. What I would do this, I will do that, I will do this and all that. Until when? When does the sorrow strike him? In the knowing of the absence of the purse. So, in the knowing only there is suffering. Isn't it? So why we don't suffer in the sleep? Do you know why? You don't know that you don't know. Right? So that's why I say, अब मुझे वेदांत मत सिखाओ भाई, मैं bliss में हूँ. Vedanta, when you learn Vedanta, you are, Arey Baba, itna bondage hai. I didn't know that samsara hai. We thought that I was very, very happily was this lying around. One, religious priest, he went to some, Arctic region, where hardly anybody lives there. So he went there and said to them, "Do you believe in God?" I said, "Who is that? What you are talking about? What is God?" So God, you should believe in. Then only you will go to heaven. If you don't believe in God, you will go to hell. He said, "Now we are really in hell." Because earlier we don't know. There is something called hell or heaven, I didn't know. Now you told me, I am in trouble. Now that thought will come to me again and again. Now I don't know what this God is. Now I am going to be in hell. Earlier I didn't even know. This is blissful. Why are you putting this thought in my head unnecessarily? So many people who are learning Vedanta, I said, "Chalo, Vedanta nahi padne se, we are very happy. Now you are saying that without knowing Mahatman, you will be miserable." So that's why in the note you see, he in the notes in that book, it is true knowledge and then it's ordinary knowledge. That's how they put it here. True knowledge is Swarupa Jnanam. Ordinary knowledge is Vritti Jnanam. So it is true knowledge of Atman or reality born through the discrimination between the real and unreal, which cannot coexist with ignorance. विवेक विचार करने से आपको सम्यक ज्ञान का दृढ़ता होता है, जिसके कारण when the vritti jnanam is developed through vichar, and then vritti jnanam and samyak jnanam becomes one and the same, in which case ignorance cannot exist there. For in the samyak jnanam avirodhi, atma chaitanyam or kutastham avirodhi, Avaranasya avirodhi. Therefore, the coexistence is possible only in the state of vritti ajnanam. In vritti jnanam, it's kotastha, when it is understood, then avarana nasha takes place. Or, in other words, that I do not know is replaced by I know. So here it says, the ordinary knowledge which we use in our daily life is not only not contradictory to ignorance, but is necessary for knowing that ignorance. If we do not know our ignorance, we cannot say that we are ignorant. But we do say it, which shows that this knowledge and ignorance coexist in a very real sense. That is why Kutastha Chaitanyam avirodhi. So, Swarupa Jnanam Sarveshu Asti. Everybody has got Swarupa Jnanam. Meaning, Kutastha Chaitanyam Sarveshu Asti. Na Vritti Jnanam. Not the knowledge about it. Awareness is there, but the knowledge about it is not there. Tasmat Shruti Pramanam Avashakam. Therefore, Shruti Praman kiske liye avashyak hai? One who recognizes that vritti ajnanam is the one which is causing the trouble, and therefore to overcome that, vritti jnanam is necessary. And for that only one goes to Shruti. Shruti develops with vritti jnanam, buddhi jnanam. Because the swarupa jnanam, self-awareness is there in everyone. That is not necessary for to be created. It cannot be created also. So, Swarupa Jnanam, that is Ajnanasya Sakshi. Swarupa Jnanam, Ajnana, Kutastham, Ajnanasya Sakshi. It is the very witness of the existence of Avarana. It is the witness of the existence of ignorance. With that only we know. Sakshi means what? See, if I say, I am a Sakshi for the murder. Were you there? No, not at all. Then how can I be a Sakshi? I can be Sakshi only when I witness, I saw that this took place. Isn't it? So Sakshi Chaitanyam Ajnanasya Avirodhi. Because it is the one which is watching it. It is that one which is watching it. And that's as much as when you wake up next morning, you say, I slept, I did not know anything. Who was the one who was knowing that you did not know anything? Because that never sleeps, that is never absent. So Sakshi Chaitanya is present even as Vritti Jnanam is not taking place there, meaning Vritti Ajnanam eva asti at that point, Sushuptau. Therefore, it is able to recognize that I know, I don't know at that point. As much as I do not know Russian, in the same way, I do not know what was going on at the time of sleep. So I was aware of that. So Swanubhutihi Avarana Vishayam Pradashita, that is what is clearly said in 31. So Ataha Kutasa Chaitanyam Upanishad Bantrena Janami Avarana Avirodhi iti Tarkyatam. So first, what is step number 1? Anubhuti Pramanena Avidya Avaranam Asti. Step 2 is Avaranam Abhi Jnatam Kutastha Chaitanyena. Number 3 is Tasmat Kutachatanyam Avirodhi Avaranasya. So Yata Sushupto Ajnanam Asti Parantu Ajnanam Asti iti Jnanam Asti api. Sushuptau Ajnanam Asti Parantu Ajnanam Asti iti Jnanam api Nasti. Even in the sleep, even though Ajnan hai, वो अज्ञान है, उसका भी ज्ञान अभी उस समय में नहीं है. Why? Vritti jnanam nasti. At that time, vritti. So that is why vritti jnanam and avrittya jnanam are opposed. So by vritti, I do not know that I am ignorant at that point. During the time, if you are sleeping and then somebody say, what do you know? I don't know. When do you say that? When you wake up. When vritti jnanam comes up, it knows the vrittya jnana. So, vrittya jnanam or the absence of vritti at the time of sleep is also known upon waking up only. So, that is why it is tata ajna atma jnana prapte ajnaha api ajnaha asmi iti jnanam na bhavati jagradavastayam api. We'll see that more of it. More detail will be going into that. What is that true vritti jnanam? What is true vritti ajnanam? And how vritti jnanam will merge in swarupa jnanam. Until then, it will stand out. Vritti ajnanam will stand out. And that is what is the cause of all suffering. Because the suffering again is not caused by the absence of Chaitanya anyway, because even suffering is also known. But why the suffering takes place is because of the vritti ajnanam. And that is the Shruti, is very role of the Shruti is to bring the buddhi jnanam. So in other words, in the case of a Mahatma, when he lives in this world, he maintains his constant abidance in the Kutastha, and therefore Avaranam api, even the so-called Avarana created by Vritti Ajnanam api nasti. So his Vritti Jnanam is in close, association with Samyak Jnanam or Swarupa Jnanam. So Avarana will not be there, and when Avarana is not there, Vikshepa will not be there. When Vikshepa is not there, there is no notion of joy on the objects, which is what is called Adhyasa or what is called projection. When that projection is not there, there is no bondage. When the bondage is not there, he is in Mukta Swarup. You will see that the line of thinking in the next class. Now let me finish. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukhavat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.